DJ Pointman here. Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.
FYI, you can hear me in StreamYard, but not on the stream. All right. Greetings, everyone. What's happening? What's going on? Happy Saturday to you. Well, it is hot. Yes, I said the word hot. For those Southerners, I ain't going to say no name, just going to say their initials. DJ Music. Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. 75 degrees is hot when it comes down to Chicago. See, we don't need many excuses to, show them yams. We don't need many excuses here. So we take what we can get because we are the Windy City. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we had temperatures 75 today. It is currently 83 in some areas. And you used to celebrate that a lot, but because of the increase of crime, you don't celebrate it as much as you used to. You look at it like, ooh, I ain't gotta have no heavy coat. I can go run my errands, do what I need to do, and get back home. And that is how a lot of us think now. And I'm pretty sure that's everywhere. It's not just Chicago, but just anywhere and everywhere. So, yeah. So I did go out today. I went to a store in the neighborhood, and there was about 30% of people, about 30% of people wearing masks. So the other 70% are just enjoying themselves. Now, I don't keep my eyes on the numbers. I do have a friend that does so. So she'll let me know if the numbers are going up, which when I spoke with her Thursday, she said the numbers were going up in the city, as well as a lot of the children in the schools, in the public schools were tested, and the numbers are going up there as well. But, you have an option to keep it on, keep it off now. Some people are having some issues with that when it comes down to the airlines, but if they made it where it's, don't have to have it, it's not mandated, well, people are definitely going to go with that option. And that's what the people have done. So that's where we are. Um, you may hear some background noise. Nothing I can do about that because, like I said, your cousins. The people are outside and about in motorcycles and got their radio blasting and all those type of things. I don't hear a lot of that in my area, but they still drive by. So we do get a earful every now and again. But today we do have them Kens and Karens. I have one for you, and it made me a little angry, but that's what Karen do. So without further ado, you all know what to do. Let's welcome our Jamaican Canadian to the stream, the lovely and the wonderful and the classic.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Classic Ruby, everybody. Classic Ruby.
Oh, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Today I've decided I'm going to be an unaffected wasp. You know those waspy types that are not affected by anything in life. They just always sound like this. So I'm just going to sound like this and say thank you. I know I'm a celebrity already. It's fine. It's cool. I'm good. Just like this. What's up, Shar? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
That didn't last long. I didn't even get to a minute. God damn, y'all know I'm too excitable for all of that. But I think I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good. I know Mr. Ruby's got some surprise planned for me right after the
Nice.
show. So, I'm
Okay.
actually dressed up for once, before the show.
Okay.
Right,
All
right,
right.
right. Yeah. We'll see if
Nice. Nice.
I tell the news differently when I have, people clothing on, right? And I look like a person. I don't know. It's a different
Okay.
experience. Yeah, so yeah.
As if they could see you.
Right? It's
We
like the
don't
confidence.
see you.
Okay. This is what it is. It's that confidence factor. Like they say that with women especially, right? Like when you look good, you feel good. So maybe because I know for once I look good, maybe I'll just
Uh-huh.
sound like I sound super professional. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I got some unprofessional as heck stories for you today though. So I don't know.
Oh,
I'm very much looking forward to your Karen Shar. Very, very much. Very much.
yeah, it's just one. It's just one. I leave that to you, because you do
Mm-hmm.
the TikTok and all of that, and you have it all set up. And I'm like, hey, let's just get one person instead of back and forth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and now there's a trick I learned. And I don't actually have to close every tab, and then I could just literally go from tab to tab to tab. I didn't even realize that until like 3 days ago. You don't have to close a tab to open another tab. You can just keep saying, "Open this tab instead. Open this tab instead." I'm like, really? How did I not know
Oh,
this for 3 years? But yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't worry about it. They just added that in there. That's
Thank
just our
you.
secret.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, speaking of professionalism, um, one of the subscribers, Jessica Hicks, shout out to her. She did a show, let's see, it was sometime last week, and she was talking about quiet quitting or quitting quietly. The same thing. And when she mentioned it, and I listened to what it was, because she had a poll, did you know what it was, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So she went on into the to explain it, and I started getting guilty. I'm like, ooh, well, you can't win them all. Oh well. But I wanted to share this story because as of yesterday, when we had the stream with the mental health, I did mention to you all that that was important to me, my mental health. So I understand this article. So let me go ahead and read it here.
Mhm.
2/3 of workers who quit their jobs don't have another one lined up. Yeah, the great resignation just won't quit. Spurred on by a tight labor market and a persuasive shift in the way Americans view work, employees are still quitting at record rates, often with no job lined up. A new survey of 2,200 workers conducted a job search platform, FlexJob, found that 68% of workers who have recently quit their jobs did so without another job offer on the table. The latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that nearly 4.4 million people voluntarily left their jobs in February, just slightly less than the 4.5 million that quit their jobs last November, which was an all-time high. Okay. And you ask, why are workers quitting jobs? Well, FlexJobs survey found that most popular reason for quitting was toxic company culture, which was cited at 62% of respondents. Close behind was low salary, cited by 59% of respondents. And other popular reasons was poor management, that's about 56%, and lack of healthy work-life balance, and that was by 49% of respondents. Um, our data clearly highlights that toxic company culture drives people to leave their jobs more than any other single factor, especially with many companies now transitioning to permanent hybrid workplaces. It's critical that leaders emphasize building healthy cultures that are inclusive of all workers' needs and locations, whether they're on site or remote. Okay, and I'll leave it right there. Now, I agree with this. I've talked to certain people and I found myself in this situation as well. I find that when people are working from home, management, for some reason, they become more aggressive. And I think it's because it's not face to face. You know, the Zoom call means nothing. Um, and they will write to you and try to punk you. And, they're just very aggressive and lack of respect. And I find that to be the same when it comes down to online culture. It's almost like they have adopted the online culture. And we know we see that in YouTube all the time. You people used to, if they troll, they just troll. It was an account they did not care about. But some of these people, because of they can be nasty, they will be, and they will say ugly things to you and at you. And that is one thing that I found, and that's why they're saying toxicity. That's what they're speaking of. The lack of respect. So sad, but so true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely true. I mean, I don't know. On one
Mm-mm-mm.
side, I mean, we covered the Karens and stuff a lot, and but then some of them like y'all listen. People are tired, and I think
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. Like as society becomes just more entitled, and more spoiled, I think working with the public becomes just more grating. You know, it's hard to want to be polite to the one every time you hear the word hello, you just hear the last 10 customers who are just awful and stuff. And so I don't know, I kind of like I have a little bit of sympathy, not when I'm dealing with customer service, right? But like listening to the story as a objective third party, I always feel bad because I'm like, I know how
Hmm.
hard it is, how bad it's gotten. I know how entitled I am. And so I can't even imagine how the 20-year-olds are acting. Like,
Yeah, I think this is everyone, but it was interesting. The article was had politely had a gentleman of color in their picture, but that's nice. It's a lot of people
yeah,
though.
it's everybody, and this
Hmm.
is why people were just like forget it. And then on top of that, oh hey, look, it's a worldwide pandemic, and I want you to show up. And yeah, you might die, but it's like cool if you die and everything. We're
Oops.
still only going to pay you minimum wage, and you still have to be talked to like crap by random people. Like, it's not a good sell. Like that's
It
it's just
isn't.
it's not a good sell. Sorry. I feel their pain. So yeah, quit and figure it out later. Forget the rat race, figure it out later. That's I mean, Y'all know I wouldn't work. I'm very lazy. So, on that note, y'all just
Okay.
know it. I ain't trying to do all that. I'm working in my field or not at all. And in my field, because psychology is a passion. Like it doesn't feel like
Yeah.
work, right? But like another customer service job, not me, ma'am. Never again. All right. But now let's talk about Cheetos. Why are we talking about Cheetos, you ask? Well, I thought this was absolutely fascinating. So Cheetos are banned in Germany. I bet y'all didn't know that.
Did
Now
not
they
know.
right. So I wish Jay Shy was there. We have to get him in to confirm. But okay. Um, Now y'all can see here. There's this label, and it's like some stores carry Cheetos in their stores, but then they have to put like a sticker over the brand, and they have to put another sticker over Chester the Cheetah. Okay, so let's explain. I got explanations for you over here. Business is interesting. Business is interesting. Um, so now this has been since 1980 that Cheetos have been illegal in Germany. Crazy, right?
Mhm.
What the reason why this has to do with a kind of a legal loophole, shall we say? So for over 4 decades, the Dusseldorf-based conglomerate Intersnack, whose chips, pretzels, and corn puffs dominate the German market, has been suing anyone who dares to sell Cheetos in Germany on the grounds that the name Cheetos is too similar to that of one of Intersnack's own products, Cheetos. Okay, I'm going to explain now because I just said the same word twice, right? So our Cheetos is Cheetos, and Intersnacks Cheetos is Chitos. Okay, so now people are actually scared even to cover to bring these in and whatever, because a lot of stores have gotten letters saying they'd have to pay tens of thousands of euros for violating a trademark. And so stores like, the guy they're interviewing here, who wanted to remain anonymous, that's how scared people are, um, have spoken to lawyers. Lawyers say, listen, as long as the name is invisible, as long as Chester isn't visible, you should be okay. But no one's still 100% sure, so they're still very worried about it. Um, so, like for example, they thought just covering up the name would be fine, but then earlier this year, a German seller was fined $2,538.10 because the sticker that they'd slapped on the logo on each bag could be easily removed, leading to brand confusion. Like, so they put a sticker over it, but because the sticker could be removed, it wasn't good enough. And then the store gets fined. So now here's the crazy part, right? So I just said, well, there's brand confusion, and there's this whole German brand, Intersnack, and they have their Cheetos spelt, with an I instead of an EE, right? And so they don't want there to be any type of confusion. But here's the problem. Let me show y'all something. This is the Cheetos by Intersnack.
Hmm.
Nobody has ever seen these in the wild. When I say in the wild, I mean in stores in Germany. These don't actually exist in Germany. You cannot buy this off of a shelf in Germany. So therefore, this whole entire war is technically, it exists, right? I mean, Intersnack exists. They're a multi-million dollar brand and whatever. And they did come up with Cheetos. Now, whether they existed at some point and Cheetos, actual Cheetos beat them out or whatever, I don't know. But what it does come down to is right now, the only place that Cheetos by Chio exists is right here on this website I'm showing y'all. It's the only place it exists. And yet, somehow or another, despite the fact that this doesn't exist and they're not selling it and you can't buy it, they are still allowed to charge thousands and thousands of dollars in trademark infringement fees to anybody who uses our Cheetos or who sells our Cheetos in Germany. So and not only, oh, and you can also be fined if you ship them in to Germany. and amongst other things. So what people do is they come down to America or Canada or somewhere that can legally sell Cheetos, right? And then they stuff their suitcases full of these Cheetos or whatever, because if they were to get them like shipped in, then the trademark infringement thing could attach. It's crazy. So really, I don't know. I will say this: whatever Intersnack is doing, they're brilliant, because I've never heard before in my life that you could literally trademark infringe something that doesn't exist and profit off of it. And they really are profiting wildly off of this. So yeah, that's what's going on. Cheetos is banned in Germany, y'all. You can get it. You can't get the other Cheetos. You can get this Cheetos, but it will have a sticker over the logo and stuff. Yeah. Interesting, right?
That is very interesting. And, when it comes down to trademark, we've been learning a lot about that just in this space as of recent. So, um, hmm, I
Right?
don't even know what to say outside of, hmm.
I'm just saying it tells you something. I mean, you know what? I know, the king of petty. If he ain't here now, I know he always likes to listen to the replay. We'll say this, you know, we've had a lot of these discussions about how, some people are buying and, paying for trademarks. Um, and then, you got some people in the space who want to say, oh, it don't matter, that don't mean anything. Well, you know what? Intersnack has proven that's not true. You don't even have to have a product. All you have to have is a trademark that closely resembles the other trademark, and that's enough. And they can just get money. Get money. They're like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Da, 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 da. Wow.
Mm,
Okay. Now, as far as with money is concerned, there's a rebate going on. Chicago got some camera rebates, and this was a program that's created by the mayor and that has been silent as far as if she's going to run for reelection. But I would say that she is, because she came out with this program and one other one, and I will get into that because that's at the bottom of the article. And it says program aims to give security camera rebates to Chicago residents, business owners. The city is launching a new program that aims to give rebates to residents and business owners for security cameras. In a news conference Monday, Mayor Lightfoot announced the new program with CPD Superintendent David Brown and Community Safety Coordination Chief Coordination Officer Tamara Mahal. It's called the Home and Business Protection Rebate Program, and officials said the goal is to increase personal security throughout the city. Okay, each resident is eligible for a rebate up to $225 per camera and up to $450 in total, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. To be eligible for the rebate, business owners and residents will be required to register their cameras with the Chicago Police Department. The city says CPD will not have direct access to the cameras and cannot access footage without residents' consent. The giveaway comes after the Lightfoot administration announced the Chicago Moves program at the end of March. If the program passed by the city council, about 150,000 Chicago households will be receiving assistance with prepaid gas and CTA cards. Hmm, wow, what a bonus. I don't know. But I say that she has her plans to run for reelection. She just hasn't said anything. And then buy these little bonuses, that tells me that's what's going on. Now, I did report a couple of weeks ago of a gentleman that gave away gas to residents. You just pull up in a gas station and you get $50 worth of gas and pull off. You didn't have to register anything. And the last one that he had was for $1 million worth of gas, and that was in the city as well as the suburbs. Now, with the one that he had with the $1 million, some of the suburban gas owners did not want to participate. They're like, nope, don't want to participate for whatever reason. Now, just so happened, right after that, he announced that he's running for mayor. Hmm, interesting. And he has decided today, as of this morning, 7 a.m., he gave some more gas away. How interesting. Now, I would say with this rebate, and it states in this article that CPD will not have access to the footage without the person's consent. I am going to not bet my money on that. I'm just not. This can benefit people as well as harm them. Harm them in what way, you ask? Well, if there is some footage that they need to get their hands on, it can be manipulated, or well, it can disappear, especially if it's against the police department. And even with cameras, and we do have cameras in the city, you have to ask yourself, why aren't you catching more of these people that are doing crimes on the street when you have these city cameras? You think my little camera is supposed to catch other things, unless you're just saying for me? That, in my opinion, that is a thing that happens with your insurance. You deal with your insurance with that. You get a discount on your monthly rate, or even yearly rather. So why do I have to register my camera with the police? So I have many questions, and they're not going to answer them. They're just going to say, "Oh, this is great, just like sliced bread, woohoo!" But anytime that something is involved with the city, I smell trouble. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I've been here too long and know too much. It is what it is. Thank you.
Oh, the shade of it all. The shade. The shade.
I know
You
what
know
I
it's
know.
true. You know it's true. Like, listen, if they really cared, there's so many things that they would do differently, right? Like, I mean, we've had red light cameras for like decades now. Do you think they care about the well-being and safety of anybody? Like, no, those red light cameras are not there to catch people zipping through at hundreds of miles of hours over the speed limit. No, it's to catch those people who make a judgment call, and you know what, their wheels roll over the line 1 second before the red light. They're like, I got screwed, and they're gonna pay their bills because they're law-abiding citizens, right? Like, it's a money grab. That's all.
Yeah,
In essence, that's all it is. Like, we know that they had billions of dollars to go release red light cameras all over the place. But then they didn't have money to release, I don't know, cameras anywhere it would be helpful to, I don't know, be a deterrent to crime, to protect the youth, something that's helpful, forcing
right.
people to keep their body cameras on all the time, you know, little things to protect the citizens. Just the little stuff.
Yeah,
So,
you know where I was going with that. Yeah.
just the little stuff. So I'm just saying, if they don't got time, let's be real. If they don't have time to do all that, just protect the little people with cameras that are already installed on human beings walking around all the time, right? Then they don't care.
Hmm.
They don't care. So that's, yeah, we know. We know.
Right.
We see you. Uh, so, so Shar, in submissive woman demographic news,
Ooh.
we like to cover some of these stories of these women who make us over here look bad. And yeah. So I don't know if y'all heard about this or not. I'm gonna play the news story for y'all. Then I got some live footage of just a little bit more of the actual scene. I don't want to ruin it, so I'm just gonna switch on over there and we'll just watch it. All right.
Hello, and thanks for joining us this Earth Day. I'm Mary Calby in for Deborah. It was a beautiful outdoor wedding until the 911 calls started coming in from guests saying they felt strange. Then the bride ended up under arrest along with her caterer, both accused of spiking the wedding dinner with pot. Jim Murray reports.
Wedding guests cheer as the bride makes a stunning walk down the aisle. The bride is radiant in her beautiful lace gown. The dashing groom looks as happy as any man can be. The lovebirds literally tie the knot. And they're pronounced husband and wife with a romantic kiss. It appeared to be a picture-perfect wedding until guests say they began feeling woozy and drugged out after dinner at the reception in Longwood, Florida.
Let's also point out right here that, obviously she is significantly younger than her spouse, right? So to the other side of the manosphere, or to anyone in the manosphere who's been saying, well, you just got to get her young. Just get her younger. It'll make everything better, right? Couple decades younger than you, she'll be so thankful and just look up to you and just follow your lead no matter what. Okay.
Florida. Cops say their meal was laced with marijuana.
I feel weird. I feel like there's some kind of drug in me.
Panic wedding guests started calling 911. 2 had to be hospitalized. One guy was found wandering and asked police for help.
What would you suggest I do?
Well, I would not drive in your condition, so you probably want to take like an Uber.
Then cops started questioning the newlyweds. Just look at that grin plastered on Brian Dennis Svoboda's face.
Apparently, supposedly, your food had cannabis inside of it when your guest seated. Did you guys authorize that?
I have no idea.
Did you guys authorize
Did y'all see that cat face? Hold on, let me rewind it back. Couple seconds. I want y'all to watch what she did with her face when they asked her. Okay, so her chin is up right now. Okay, I want y'all to watch what she did with her face. She can barely hold back the grin as it is, but let's watch what she did with her face so you can see the level of manipulativeness that she has inside of her. Okay.
when your guest seated? Did you guys authorize that?
You see?
You
see? That chin went down, and then she started looking up. So it makes your eyes look gigantic, first of all, which make you look what? Younger. Which makes you look innocent, right? Which makes you also not look like your laugh is one of joy. It could be one of coyness, one of attractiveness. It makes you look more attractive for you to tilt your chin down and look up, which then, since you're speaking to men, right, that attractiveness thing that happens actually makes you seem more trustworthy, more authoritative, a bunch of stuff. So she has this down to a science. She knew exactly when to do it, to do that thing. They looked at her. You'll see right here. They're not pushing. They're not pushing her to speak because of the way she acts. Right? It's like almost like it's creating a blind spot. So they're not seeing her. They're seeing the guy who's just like, because he doesn't know. He's not in on the jig, right? He had no idea. He's a guy, and I don't know. Well, watch.
Now it's a little blurry. Does she have a hijab on? I can't tell. It's kind of far away. Oh, okay.
No,
Thank you.
That's just her hair.
Okay.
Authorizer for the catering company to have cannabis placed in the food, edibles, whatever the case may be.
No, sir.
All the while, the bride looks on, still grinning. Cops also question the caterer.
You guys with catering?
Yeah, we're just putting stuff away.
Yeah, not put anything away yet.
I spoke to wedding guest Miranda Kate. You confronted the bride at the wedding.
I absolutely did. I asked her, I'm like, did you put marijuana in the olive oil? And the answer to me was an absolute yes, with enthusiasm, as if it was something I should be grateful for and happy about.
She says she feels betrayed.
You can do this kind of action once. What else are you going to do? I don't feel safe and comfortable having people like this in my social circle.
Police collected food as evidence. Investigators say the lasagna and bread tested positive for THC. As for that lovely redheaded bride, she's under arrest. Still grinning. This time for her mugshot.
Now watch. See, they're gonna try to blame the black woman, but let's not get it twisted. The black woman is the employee. Okay, she got hired to do something. Now, should she have not put edibles inside the food? Well, let's check it. If it's legal to have edibles in your state, right, then you providing edibles is not illegal. If the bride hires you and says, I want marijuana in all the food, right, then you would assume as a caterer that that is something that the bride has told all of her guests, right? It's not like a secret. You would obviously assume a guest would not poison, or bride would not poison all of her guests. So obviously she's setting this up with me, and everyone who's going to be attending is good with this. Like, let's not blame. I know it's going to be the instinct for people who want to blame the black woman, but let's be real. She's an employee. She did what she was hired to do. This is what it is. She did what she was hired to do. The good friend of the bride said, yeah, I asked her point blank, did you put marijuana in our food? And she said, yeah, like, you're welcome, pretty much, right? Like, that's what she said.
Right.
It was on purpose. So she did it. She set it up. It's not, this woman is going to take it, and it's going to maybe ruin her ability to ever cater anything again. But it's not her fault. Maybe we need to fix the laws now to say, well, if you work in this type of service industry, you know, you gotta have to label stuff maybe that has edibles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, now that it's legal, right? But it's like, it's not her fault.
No.
And I really wanted to make it clear it's really not her fault, because why would, like, I can't even, she's a bride. Why would she do this? It doesn't make any sense. A bride, like, where are your priorities as a bride? I find it crazy. Where are your priorities as a bride that all you could think was, yay, when all these people come, I'm gonna make sure that they all get high? What?
They should have an option of that.
Right. You have the edible cupcakes or edible desserts if people want to partake. Like, you don't just drug everything, right? Just like, for example, there was one of the guests had said that there was a really strong smell of marijuana near the punch, and when she asked the bride, like, is there marijuana in that? The bride took something green out of the punch and then smiled and giggled and said yes. So it's not even just what the cooked food. Like, it seemed like the bride said, that's not enough, I'm gonna spike the punch too. That's what it seemed like right there in that part of the story, right? So
wow.
Yep. Let's take a look. These poor people. I feel bad for these people, because I mean, that's terrifying. I don't react well to THC at all. I would be a hospitalized person, and it would not be okay. I'm not okay with THC. I don't react well. So I can't even imagine. Like, I would feel like you really poisoned me, like with like cyanide or something. Like, it's not okay. You don't get to do that. Wow. Never mind interactions with people's medications, and alcohol. Like, you can't. Wow. Okay, let's watch this.
Bride and groom?
Yes.
You're bride and groom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, supposedly, your food had cannabis inside of it when your guests eat it. Did you guys authorize that? I just need to yes or no, man. Did you guys authorize it for the catering company to have cannabis placed in the food, edibles, whatever the case may be?
No, sir.
Okay. I just need both of your IDs, so your license. Who are you to them?
He's the band. I'm trying to.
Fan guy? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Sort it out. I need your IDs,
Yes,
though.
sir.
We have people complaining of being sick and everything else, and
Is it everybody, or is
that's
it
a lot of people. And at least there's 3 or 4 people right now. Yeah.
I just walked our daughter home and came back and I saw all these trucks here and I was like, what's going on? So that a couple of people were feeling well or something like that. But
Well, the way that we're getting it is that people think that the food was laced with cannabis. This is what we're trying to figure out. If it was, it was, but we're trying to figure out who placed that cannabis there.
Right.
Whether it was the caterers on their own accord, or if it was with their permission, or what happened.
It could have been And I mean, I'm not going to lie, people here are, consume marijuana. So I think people probably.
Tell you what it says down there. It says the bride, 42-year-old Dania Shea Glennie, and food caterer, 31-year-old Jocelyn Bryant, were arrested and are facing felony charges of reckless tampering, culpable negligence, and possessing marijuana. And I can't remember how old he is, but he's 15, 20 years older than she is. I can't remember the exact age. So yeah, I mean, it's the reckless tampering, culpable negligence, and possessing marijuana. The culpable negligence part, I mean, I don't know. I guess it comes down to who's negligent. If you hire someone for an edibles party and they provide you edibles, and then you don't tell anyone it's an edibles party, even though the caterer thinks that that's what she's serving is a bunch of people who came to an edibles party, then is the caterer culpable? Or is it just the person who set this up that's culpable? I don't know. I would really love to see the white woman pay for once and the black woman don't. But that's me. That's just me. I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, she'd be a Sue newlywed.
Newlywed. Yeah, if he really didn't know anything, I hope that they are newly dissolved marriage, because that is some twisted stuff. Like, twisted.
People had their own personal and they're ingesting it. That's one thing.
That's what I'm.
But if somebody put it in food for everybody, including minors or whatever the case might be, then that's where the problem kind of lies.
Absolutely.
So if you don't mind, I know you might not have your wallet on you, but
I do, sir.
Can you get your ID for us at some point?
Yes,
that'd
absolutely.
be great. Fire department's seen about 3 more people up at the entrance that aren't feeling good. So everyone's, might be transporting a couple more people to the hospital because of this. So.
See, I don't think he knows.
Is there any food inside of them? Is there any food taken from here?
I don't think he knows. And that's where I'm like, I really think that it's 100% on her. She set this up. She thought it would be funny. Maybe she thought it would kill her mother-in-law or something. I don't know what, but I know that she is this scandalous, treacherous so-and-so behind this. And she did it on purpose. She was trying to accomplish something. She didn't think it was going to be okay. She was trying to accomplish it. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's messed up. All I know, I would definitely be in court suing her, because that's my reputation. And then as a guest, same thing, because my system doesn't take a lot. I mean, I would, feel it immediately. People, used to tease me when I was hosting BGS for Women, because I couldn't drink that much wine. I mean, I still can't. I mean, really, like, if you pour a glass, which I think is 3 ounces, once I hit an ounce, I start getting a little mellow. The most I'm going to drink after that is another half ounce at the most, and I'll still have some left in the glass, because I don't just keep drinking. I mean, once I have the mellow, I'm done. So I don't know how this particular thing will affect me. So I'm tasting one bite, maybe, what the world? What the? And I don't like that feeling. Even for when I go to the dentist, I think the worst thing about it, and this is kind of strange, but you have cavities, they're dead in your gum or your mouth, and I don't like that feeling. It makes my shoulders feel heavy. It's like a downer or something. I don't know. I don't like that feeling. So I don't want that anesthesia just for whatever it's called, just because of a cavity. So I definitely don't want anything else. Leave me alone. But yes, she'll be in court. I'll see her in court on that. She got enough money. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. It looks like she did. I want to answer Launcher, because see, this is a misconception. So Launcher said, why are people sick? I mean, isn't one of the reasons this is being made legal and why people have no regard for others when smoking? Because it's harmless. No. It's not that it's harmless. It won't cause cancer. Well, I mean, smoking anything will cause cancer, because you're breathing combustibles. But anyway, but the point is like, it's not harmful the way tobacco is harmful. So that's what they're talking about there. But it's as harmful as alcohol is harmful. So it's like saying, well, why, alcohol? Well, if you just pour alcohol into all your baked goods and then you eat as many of those baked goods as you want, well, you should be fine, right? If they're going to make it legal, then you should be able to consume as much as you want and not feel sick. Is that how drinking works? Let's ask anyone who's ever had a hangover or puked when they got too drunk, right? Like that's the point with edibles. And the thing is, edibles hit you differently than, say, smoking it does. So a lot of people, because it takes longer to hit you, they might consume too much the first time. And then they're like, oh, I don't like this feeling. And you can't escape it for like 48 hours. Like it's just there. Like there's nothing you can do as it's going through your system. So, if you didn't sign up for that experience, right, then you're not your system is set up like you might have been drinking a lot because you're at a wedding, right? And now on top of that, there's who knows how much food you ate and how much punch you drank and how much everything with edibles in it you consumed today. You might have a massive amount going through your digestive system, like to poisoning levels almost. And then you have alcohol. Maybe you didn't eat all day because you were part of the wedding party and you were just busy. And so now you're consuming all that on an empty stomach. It's kind of like the same logic as alcohol, right? So this is why it's not okay to spike the punch. And then people are drinking the punch like it's normal punch instead of, them knowing there's alcohol in it. So maybe they only have a cup or two. But if they don't know 15 cups of it, they're not in for a nice night, That's really what it is.
Yeah, I gave him the short answer. One size does not fit all. And that's true. So there you go.
Right.
All right. Speaking of one size don't fit all, we had this conversation before last year about the incentives of that police get. And we had Officer Faulkner say, no, that's not true. So I'm like, okay, I'm not one to argue. You said it's not. I know it is in places that I've, seen. So we're just going to leave it that way. And thankful for what Dr. Ritchie here talked about. There was something that was done. So let me play a little bit of this and then a little bit of his, what happened afterwards. Let's see if I put it a little faster. They're probably still going to have me to mute it because it's somebody else's. But hey, you get to see it live. You all right. You miss it. Oh, well.
Policing for points. Yeah. Atlanta police, they have been exposed for policing and getting points at the end of their shift. I'm talking about they get a certain amount of points for arresting juveniles, a certain amount of points for arresting someone on a felony, and then they get a certain amount of points for pulling somebody over on a traffic ticket. I am not kidding you. Let me give you some details. Put up the picture of the officer who blew the whistle. You can't see him, right? Because he's scared. He's not scared of community. He's scared of other cops. Because I don't care what you tell me about the police know the police. And he has remained anonymous while blowing the whistle on other cops.
Can't blame the man. Shoot, you would only see the top of my cap. I wouldn't even give that much. And they're like, oh, that's Jim. Shoot, you ain't gonna identify me. No. So that was the story that, let me go back to the date. It was April 13th. And this is what I had wanted to mention, show you guys last week, because I thought about it when we had another segment. Something came up. I said, oh, shoot, I forgot about that. And I couldn't find it. But it worked out just fine because there was an update right afterwards. So that is what we're about to hear now. Let me see if I did the audio share. Yes, I think I did. And you guys will tell me if not. And let's see, are you the right one? Update. Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good. Oops, I didn't want that. Okay, I already have it. Okay.
Atlanta police targeting and arresting citizens based on the point system is inhumane and unjust. Since this story broke, we have been hearing the outrage from community residents. We are thankful that Dr. Rashad Ritchie brought this story to the masses. So many viewers and listeners reached out to our city officials to express their disdain. Just 2 days after this story got our attention, the Atlanta police chief announced his retirement. City officials are telling us that the policing by points program will be no more. This is a step in the right direction. We will continue to monitor this situation and provide updates to the community.
This was a darn shame that it was announced this way because it was already there. It's just that they were tweaking it. That's what had happened. Because let's be honest, I think I might have mentioned this before. Everything is about profit when it comes down to companies. That's just the bottom line. And people are saying that the pandemic meant nothing to them. Something happened. There was something that happened. Whether you were a boss or not, you have employees. Your employees were affected. That affected you. Your product that you have, it wasn't able to be shipped. The price changed, or whatever. You still were affected. So people are saying they were not, and people were. That's just the bottom line. Well, if people in the house, who are they arresting? They got all these people on payroll, and they constantly getting that pension because this dude even retired. He gets everything. He gets everything. You're like, oh, let me bow out. Let me grab this money, and boop, and he gone. And this is what's happening. And they need to recoup. So he came up with this bright idea. Hey, I got some points. You know, see a guy, you see some smoke, or you think you see some smoke, 5 points for you. And unfortunately, he got caught, which is good. And thankful to Dr. Ritchie here and the people that report on this and talk about it. It helps. You know, we are muted on a lot of things, but I am glad that this happened and very happy. Very happy.
Mhm. Absolutely. And we've talked about this before. Grassroots media is often the thing these days that is calling people to account, right? Putting
Yeah.
attention on this kind of stuff, because prior to that, the big media people, the big news people, they are I won't say paid off entirely, but more like their message is a little controlled. So it's very
Yes.
easy, right, with the right connections, the right amount of money for you to silence anything. And now, little folks like us, well, you can't silence us. Oh, I don't know. I can't say that. If you pay me $10 million, I don't know. I might have an epiphany. We'll see. But the point is, generally, right,
Right.
there's so many of us, they can't afford to pay us all off. So
Right. There you go.
right, that's what it is. I listen. I like to be honest and non-hypocritical. So I just want to say, I don't know. If you paid me $10 million, well, here, y'all pay me $10 million, and then let's see if I change my point of view. What do you think? Yeah, just for research purposes, right?
Yeah. That
No
sounds
give backs.
about right.
Yeah, no give backs though. Like once the experiment's over, it's still my money. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. Now this one is this story. I like to see updates from time to time, and this is actually technically an update. I can't even remember when we did this story. We did this years ago. I think it's like a year or two ago. We did this story though. I do remember covering this. And so I was happy to see there is finally a resolution to this, just because it was just really tragic. For myself, being a person who is constantly, it feels like, in battle with the medical system, the very flawed, don't care about nobody medical system, to see the medical system fail anybody so greatly makes me furious inside, just because, again, I'm so regularly failed by the medical system. So to see that there actually is a punishment feels good. I'm gonna be real with y'all, because a lot of times it's kind of like the police in a way. They handle all their stuff internally, and then there's an internal review board, an internal punishment, an internal this and an internal that, which normally works out to being nothing, right? But no, there's a punishment. So let's take a listen to this, and they do talk about the story, so it should refresh memories for those who don't remember.
He is headed to prison now for failing to save a dying man seen begging for help on hidden camera.
The judge sentencing Lois Agyeman to 8 years in prison, nearly 5 years after an 11 Alive Reveal investigation that compelled law enforcement to file charges. Reveal investigator Andy Parati uncovered the hidden camera video back in 2017 and has followed the case since then. Andy, the family has been waiting a long time for this day, right?
Sheba, they certainly have. It's been nearly 8 years since 89-year-old James Dempsey died at a Metro Atlanta nursing home. His family always suspected something criminal happened. Because they installed a hidden camera in his room, they finally proved it. Lois Adjman appears virtually before a judge Tuesday, facing the consequences of her inaction when James Dempsey begged her for help in February 2014. DeKalb County prosecutor Gene Canavan in court earlier this month.
He's saying, I'm desperate, I need help. And Ms. Ogden comes in and she basically tells him there's nothing wrong with him. What Lois Ogden said to him was, there's nothing wrong with your heart. Turn off that call button.
In 2018, a grand jury indicted Adjman with felony murder and charged two of her colleagues, nursing supervisor Wanda Knuckles and nursing aide Mabel Turman, with concealing his death. All after an 11 Alive investigation uncovered hidden camera video of the women failing to save the 89-year-old's life.
We would not be able to prosecute this case without that video.
The district attorney explained how the CNA witnessed a World War II veteran unresponsive. She doesn't act. Nurse Adjman returns to the room, but instead of starting CPR, she leaves for an hour to check if Dempsey requested a DNR, a do not resuscitate, if he ever stopped breathing. When she confirms he did want his life saved, Adjman still doesn't act.
Right then and there, she had violated the standard of care. She had violated her duty to Mr. Dempsey. She did not try to save him.
At one point, they're seen laughing while trying to get an oxygen machine to work. According to the DA, the two nurses only started CPR when they knew paramedics arrived.
The point is, they worked together to conceal the gross negligence and disregard for human life that caused Mr. Dempsey to die on that night.
The judge ordered Adjman to arrive at the DeKalb County Jail on March 31st to start her 8-year sentence. Another nurse charged in connection with Dempsey's case will go to trial next Monday.
And that was my other question. What happened to the other nurse here? It's very emotional for all of us to watch the story over the years, Andy. I'm not even a member of Mr. Dempsey's family, and this is just heartbreaking to watch. What has been his family's reaction to this deal here?
Well, Dempsey's family was not in the hearing today, but they do tell me over the phone that they are glad that this is all over, and they hope that this sends a message that the next time that something like this happens, that facilities and nurses take it seriously and do not ignore someone just because they're elderly.
Now, here's my issue. The fact that the family said it's all over. That's my issue. And I'll tell you why that's my issue. Because first of all, these are nurses. Where's the doctor? Right? Nurses, I'm not downplaying the role of nurses, but I am saying that nurses are made to follow the orders set out by the doctor. What is wrong with this facility that they don't have a doctor, it seems like, on staff that's regularly checking on patients, that's giving regular, clear, consistent feedback about exactly what needs to happen? What is wrong with this facility that they have to literally go searching for a file to see whether or not a patient has a DNR? Why is that not like basically attached to their bed or in their room somewhere? Right? I mean, just everything about why is there no oversight of the staff in general, that it took a family putting in hidden camera. You think this is the first time they did this? No, they've been doing this. This is what they do, right? This is, don't bother with nothing. Whatever. These old guys, they dying. Whatever. No, right? Like, and unfortunately, a lot of old people get shipped to these places and kind of low key abandoned, right? Like, families move on. They're too busy. They might visit maybe once a month, maybe on Christmas and Easter, and that's it. And they're trusting these facilities to take care of you, but because they're used to family not coming to visit and stuff like that for the majority, then you see how they don't treat people right. When my grandma she was in a normal hospital, mind you. It was just like a regular hospital, and she was admitted. We couldn't figure out what's wrong with her. I told them at that time she didn't have Alzheimer's, and she didn't. It was her pancreas was failing, which created Alzheimer's like symptoms. And so anyway, then she was having, as they were trying to treat it and stuff, she was having issues with walking, and with continence and stuff. There was just this one point where she was left for like an hour. There was always someone from my family there. Always. We were always there around the clock. You couldn't leave until the next one came. But there was like an overlap. I can't remember why she was left for an hour. And as my aunt was coming in, the doctor, or not the doctor, the nurse was just telling the girl, okay, time to stand up, and pulled up her underwear and didn't wipe her. So she had gone number 2. You didn't even wipe her. And then so my aunt, who had been saying, no, they're saying that she's going in her pants, but she's not. They're just, when she gets to the toilet, they don't wipe her. They just pull up her clothes and put her back in bed, and who cares? And that's the attitude that you see against the elderly. Like, they're just throwaways and no one cares. And like, how dare you be in this profession if you don't care? You know what I mean? So I'm glad they got slapped. I'm glad they got slapped hard. I am. I just wish that we could do this on par. Like, why are the police getting 2 years for murdering people? Why are prison guards getting 6 months suspended sentence for murdering people? But the nurses got 8 years. I just feel like everyone should be getting 10 years for some type of manslaughter.
I hear you. It's sad. Very sad.
Right. Very.
All right, I'm gonna squeeze this in. This is because I just love to tell you guys about scams. I want you to watch your pockets. Be careful. And this is a woman. She had 70 credit cards issued from her account. So let's listen in.
Nothing is quite as unsettling and infuriating, really, as a scammer breaking into your bank account. It happened in a most unusual way to a Hayward woman who found a stunning delivery in her mailbox. She came to 7 on Your Side's Michael Finney, and he is here now with her troubling and weird story.
Yeah, troubling, that's a really good word. This was surreal. Yeah. I mean, listen to this story. This woman suddenly received a huge stack of mail containing not 1 or 2, but 70 Chase Bank credit cards issued to 70 complete strangers, all on her credit card account. Now, even more troubling, it never seemed to raise a red flag when someone added 70 names to a single account. Instead, the bank went ahead and issued all those fraudulent credit cards.
I've never seen something so outrageous.
The stack of envelopes arrived all at once in Tina Kumar's mailbox.
I was overwhelmed when I saw the envelopes. I didn't know what was going on, and I've been like in shock since then.
I could see if it was 7, but 7-0. I mean, come on. If the system kicked it out, fine. But I just think there's had to be some type of manual, some type of person involved. I'm sorry, this is strange, but we'll continue.
Most shocking, each envelope contained 2 of these Chase Bank credit cards, each with a different name on the front and her account number on the back.
I was like dumbfounded when I got so many different credit cards, and then I look behind and they have my credit card number. It was just beyond belief.
Right away, she called the number on the cards to find out what was going on, and suddenly realized she had just activated the account for 70 strangers.
Then I panicked. It's like, oh no. Oh no.
She called Chase customer service and got more upsetting news.
He said on March 25th, somebody logged into my account and added 70 names. And I said, well, how can that happen? How come I wasn't notified?
The bank closed the account, gave her a new card and a new login. Luckily, no one had used the cards.
I'm sure, people that were waiting for it to be activated just went on a rampage charging.
But no one explained how 70 fraudulent credit cards slipped through at the bank without detection.
And that's the weird part. How could that happen? There's so many different things. When you log into your account, your computer has to be verified. You get a code, you put that in. So that's the first thing came to my mind because I give Chase that much. They will, you're not just going to log on to any device. So I'm like, okay, so are we looking at something on the inside? Because this is just too many and so many people. I mean, but people are scamming all different ways now. They're getting more clever. So that I can't say that, for definite that it was an inside job, but it does raise some eyebrows. And you guys definitely better be careful. So I wanted to share that with you before I do my Karen. Because I don't like to take too much time. I know you guys want it. I know it. I know what's going on. You ain't got to tell me twice. You're like, you want that Karen. I know. So I dropped an article in the thing for you guys so you can check it out at your leisure and see what's going on.
Okay. Well, let me say this. A lot of people, I'm going to say people who are over 45, 50, around that age, right? They're not obsolete. They understand technology. They're still living life, working, whatever. But they were born and raised and established their lives before the internet. And they don't trust the internet. And so because they don't trust the internet, a lot of them shy away from things like, for example, online banking. And they think that the way to keep themselves safe is to not do things like online banking. Don't sign up for stuff like that. If you don't sign up for online banking, then that protects you. But it actually does the opposite. That's literally what has happened to my grandfather on multiple occasions now. Because he doesn't do online banking and he's not signed up for online banking, if someone gets his bank card and his vague information, they can sign up for his online banking for him. And then boom, through online banking, there's a world of hurt you can put on your accounts, on your credit, on your whatever, because it's all right there in the portal. And so, honestly, one of the safest things you can do, especially if you are kind of like you're a child of an elderly person or an older person, or you're a carer of some type of person, is sign them up for online banking. Sign them up for all of that online stuff. And then you make the passwords, you make all of that information, you make sure it doesn't automatically save to any of their types of devices, because they're probably not going to use it anyway. But it's just to protect them. So that way, if someone tries to use their bank card or their credit card to sign up, it's already logged in. And then you make sure that the password reset, everything, that all comes to you. Right. And then that way, someone tries to reset the password, well, it's going to be emailed to you. You'll get the notification. Then you figure out who grandpa or mommy's with, and then you know who's trying to steal from them. That's what I'm saying, because they make it really, really easy, unfortunately. And I hear it all the time. And that's what it comes down to. People just sign them up for things they don't already have set up online. And then that's it. It's scary.
That is scary. Wow. Okay, good people, we are ready for our Kens and Karen. Let's see what Ken got to say, because he always got his mouth open too,
Yeah, this is not your apartment. Do you have an ID on you, maybe? Put that fucking...
Dude, seriously? You attacking me? Seriously?
Get that phone out of your...
Hey! What the hell's wrong with you, you stupid?
Dropped him clear across the parking lot. Good. All right. Now, Karen, she got me upset, but well, Karen always up to something. What can you do? Let's just look at the outcome. Enough talking. Let's see what happens here.
Drop the knife now! Drop it now! Drop the knife! Drop the knife now! 10:33. Drop it! Get back. Back up. Drop the knife now! Drop it. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop it now. Put it down. Put the knife down.
Now, just to say that, by this time, it's been a good 40 seconds, we would have got it by now. So that's the part pissed me off, but let's continue.
Put it down. Put the knife down. Put it down now. Put the knife down. Put it down. Drop it. Drop the knife. Put it down. Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
Maybe I could be a killer and I'm not.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Whole entire minute and a half. We would have been shot yesterday. Just saying.
Drop the knife now.
Karen's down. Karen's down. Karen's
down.
Drop.
Karen's down. Karen's down. Yes, she's down.
Girl, I've never even heard of Law and Crime before. How did we both play something from Law and Crime today? I never even heard of that until like right now. And I'm like, I played something that you played. That's crazy. But Char, I didn't know they knew where the taser was. Did you know they knew where the taser? I was.
Yeah. It does something for a whole minute and a half. Did all this talking, repeated several times. They didn't feel fear for their life. Nothing. Yeah.
Hey, you mean they do know how to grab the? You know what the crazy thing is, right? Because if they ever do grab a taser for us, right? They grab the taser and then they immediately shoot it. There's no talking. That's why they grabbed the taser. So they didn't have to talk to us, and then no one can be mad at them for not talking to us, right? Mm-hmm. So I find it amazing that they were reluctant to shoot the taser at the crazy lady with the knife in the middle of a store surrounded by, like, a child could walk by at any moment, even.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
amazing.
Hey, now you wonder why Karen acts the way she does, because life has told her it's okay. There will be no consequences. Yeah, that's well, you know, since we're talking about tasers, that's all I'm gonna give y'all. This Karen and a taser. That's since we're talking about tasers anyway, it's Karen and a taser. Everyone's saying pretty much in the comments of this one that she would have been better off without the taser. But let's see what Karen does with the taser.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm fucking taser.
Oh my God, you're escape mode.
Jump out!
Karen's down! Karen's down!
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust, right?
Wow. I mean, Karen, she was so submissive, you know. She got out the car, yelling, screaming with her taser. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Girl, that stance was priceless. Like, how she was, like, that stance she was doing with that, like, horse stance. And then the way she was walking back and forth, like, yo, she really thought she was in a kung fu movie or something. I swear to God,
that was a kung fu stance. Kung fu Karen.
Right?
Hey-ya! Yeah.
That was amazing. That was so good. But again, Karen now, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. That's all I can think. Okay. I let this little title right here. If my coworker wasn't there telling me, shh, he know my mouth and hands will match the energy. Oh, Karen. Now Karen apparently had an issue because Karen's favorite thing is to ask for the manager, as we know, right? Well, so Karen wanted to go above the manager because the manager didn't give her away, so they gave her the number to customer service, and apparently customer service is not answering her. I guess they're busy, so they can't pick up her direct call immediately. Maybe they just put her in the wait queue and it was too long. I don't know. So this is the end result of that situation. Let's see what happens.
You lose business because you got shitty employees that's more important to be on their phone than to help us. Have a good day, ma'am. You laugh? I hope. You laugh about this situation? What's the situation? You get paid to do a job.
Man, they had to mute her. She was talking so reckless.
You can't get assistance when you're back here. And that is correct. The phone, I will call again. That's not my problem. And that's not my problem. That it is. Phone you're an employee. If you got a problem with the way it's operating, you need to go to your manager and discuss it with him. Not tell your customer to go to customer service and then stand there with that little smirk on your face, thinking you're dead wrong. And it's sad that he's not standing here and getting in your ass about the way you're smirking at me. And he's smirking at you in the situation. And I don't understand how you allow this little girl to disrespect you that way.
Are you ready?
Dang.
Uh-oh. You're not cute. You're supposed to do your job. Try for a little hoe. That's what you are.
Ooh.
Let me get off the clock. Get off the clock. Get off the clock. Quit your job. Okay, tell me what time to get off. I'll be back.
Uh-oh.
I ain't put up with shit like you.
Unbothered. See?
Yeah.
See, y'all? That's why I don't respond. It's like because I understand that there's so many of these tantruming man children and girl children, women children running around pretending they've grown, but really they're just throwing tantrums.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? So I like to not respond because I know it drives them crazy because even if it's bad energy, they would rather a response than no response.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I love it. Now, y'all have heard of the Freedom Convoy that was up here. Now there's the People's Convoy in the United States. And just because it's a convoy, we did so much coverage of the convoy up here. I felt it was only fair to cover the convoy in America. So let's watch the convoy in America. And we'll see how the people of Oakland are handling the People's Convoy.
Mm-mm.
They really like that honking stuff.
Oh.
Hold on.
Wow.
Did you see? I thought it was amazing. So he ran up, but he put his hands behind his back. So you can't accuse me of hitting you. And then Buddy with his eggs, before he responds, puts his hands behind his back too. Is that like a secret code?
I don't know.
Do they just know that's what you're supposed to do? You put your hands behind your back?
I'm not the aggressor.
Right? Yeah. I'm just the talker. So then if someone swings, then it's their fault. But he ran up in his face first, though, right? Ran up in his face with his hands behind his back and put his face practically against the other guys, right? So it's like, it invites you to push them away. And then you can be like, my hands are behind my back. There's no way I could have hurt you. Okay. I see the scam. Okay, let's keep going. The eggs is funny though. I'm sorry, he's just like sitting there, just.
Uh-oh.
They ain't playing with them eggs.
Wow. I see.
Like that's loud.
Okay.
Right?
Frozen or what?
Girl, they dented stuff for sure. Yep, they're so serious. No, they ain't playing. They were like, we are not going to be the next Ottawa, y'all. We are not. Okay? We're making it very unhospitable over here.
Sleep and get on the go.
I swear I saw that roof rack shake. I swear I saw it shake. I swear. Like
okay.
That was priceless. All right, now. This one I didn't get a chance to screen it. It's gonna put us a little tiny bit past 9 o'clock. But you know what? Listen, we haven't seen a longish Karen in a while. And
True.
even better, it's an airport freak out Karen. Which we just gotta love. Now this is actually on the plane. Okay, give you guys the 411. Basically, Karen decided, you know, like when you're supposed to, the plane's gonna land, you're supposed to be sitting in your seat, distracted, blah blah blah. Well, Karen spent the whole time in the bathroom, and then this happens.
Okay.
Yeah, Karen can't follow basic instructions. Okay, so let's go ahead.
Okay.
Let's get them all rolling. We have planes to catch. Not gonna make it. I have a medical emergency.
I bet.
If you don't mind, get me off this plane. I have a medical emergency. It's not your business. Now move, please.
Oh, not your business. Okay. Probably can get you some help.
Mm-hmm.
He's just standing there.
Because we're not there yet. They haven't opened the door yet. You can go anywhere. Everybody has to get off first. Please, calm down.
Yes, sir. If you told me you had a medical emergency, I'd have you out there. I would believe you.
Okay.
None of your business.
You see, like Karen thinks that because she said medical emergency, like what you think they're all kidding? Drunk Karen? Do you think that they're all lying and the door's really open, but everyone just feels like standing in the aisles? Like that's what it is? Like
Right, just playing.
Right? What do you think's gonna happen? Even if they let you to the front, the doors aren't gonna open. They can't just let you off the plane. Like, well, they could just let you off the plane, but it's going to be a mighty far drop for you. What do you think happens? You think the plane just flies around with that corridor that's attached to the airport? They have to bring it and then attach it to your plane. Like, chill out, Karen. But Karen has no chill, zero chill. All right. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Get off the plane.
You can't get off the plane yet because the door is not open. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh.
Mm. It really doesn't matter what she's saying.
Right? At all.
Calm down.
Yes, I do. I can show you that I got to have a yelling at me. I need you to calm down. This is fun. Relax.
Oh, Ruby, when you mute it, it mutes.
What?
Yeah.
I am playing. Okay. Don't get me off the plane. Don't need to
When I
tell you where.
okay,
Yeah.
that's weird and different. She's so wasted. Look at what it is. Look, is she sleeping? I feel like she fell asleep almost.
It could be.
Right?
Not in Karen.
Oh, now you've taken over her job. Oh, like her. Your eyeliner's all fucked up.
Wow.
Why is the door not open?
Like she's talking to a child.
I wouldn't use it.
No, of course she can't. She's Karen.
You look fine. I don't see nothing wrong with you. Who the fuck are you? Yeah, me too. And I have to get off the plane.
Everyone does, Karen. Everyone does. No one's trying to stay there. Like nobody.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
So I said, I have a medical emergency. He said, you left just fine. That was out of line. No.
Oh.
That was out of line.
Por favor.
Normal people would say thank you. I like that. She's like, "Are you ready? Come on, petulant child, let's go." Like, okay, you ready, Karen? We're going now. Okay, you ready, girl? Come on, let's go. Really, like, it's like,
Wow.
yo, that woman must be a saint. She must work with like kindergartners or something. She's hella patient, and she gets that voice. My sister does that actually. For all my sister has all kinds of things, but the one thing she does very well, it doesn't matter who she's talking to. When people get like ignorant and patient, people, old people with Alzheimer's, whatever it is, she gets that same voice that woman did. Like she's talking very patiently, but very much enunciating and explaining herself to an upset child who you have to try a little bit harder with. Okay. You're like, that's what she was doing to her. That's amazing.
That is crazy.
You think they grown. They never are.
No. It doesn't matter what age Karen is. It's always the same act every time, each and every time.
Right? Amazing. I don't know. I wonder if drunkenness can be considered a medical condition, though. I just want to know.
Nah.
No. It's either that or crack. It has something to do with crack and needing some, or alcohol and having had too much of it. There's one or the other. I would die of shock if it was something else. I'm just going to keep it a buck.
Well, you guys, you enjoy your weekend, the rest of your weekend. Have some fun. We'll be back here next Friday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join the show, whatever the topic will be. It will be fun. Or it's always going to be fun. You're going to learn something, get a different view of some things. And on Wednesdays, we started back with the Keep the Beat segment. I'll play the commercial on the way out. It is at a radio station, which is, what is the name of the radio station?
CRBJ.
Classic R&B Jams. And the information is in the description area. So you'll have it for Wednesday. It will be 9:30 Eastern, I think. Is it 9:30 Eastern or 8:30 Eastern? What is it? Eastern.
9:30 Eastern.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is correct. All right. So it's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Check us out. I'll play the commercial on the way out. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And until we meet again, peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the JustAskChar Advice Channel. Join me and Classic Ruby for a radio segment called Keep the Beat. We broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Classic R&B Jams, CRBJ. We interact with the audience in the chat room where you'll have access to emojis, gifts, and the lively conversation. Press the icon that is a speaker, then press play radio. After a 15-second commercial, all the fun will begin. If you miss the live broadcast, you can listen to the replays from Mixcloud. Follow my channel on Mixcloud, JustAskChar Advice Channel, and you will receive notifications when the show has been uploaded. We hope to see you soon, and until then, enjoy this show.